Wow, wow, wow! What's up, YouTube family? It's Aquatic Bobs here. So I knew if I did something really dramatic, it would probably make you watch at least through the intro to this part. So if that worked, awesome. If you were going to watch anyways, I appreciate you. But I had an interesting conversation with a few people at work today, and it was really centered around the idea of when we start something, do we finish it? Like, do we actually follow through with it? See, I think in today's world where our attention span is literally like 8 to 12 seconds, and you can look that up, I'm pretty sure that's the honest truth, depending on your age. We live in a world today where we literally just don't focus on anything for very long unless it's something that is like blowing our mind or entertaining or that we need to. And even when we need to focus on something, sometimes it's hard to do it. So I was talking to a few people at work today about starting something and not giving up, like not getting distracted or not thinking about something else and getting excited about the next thing and moving on to the next thing. But when I started this reef tank hobby, I remember thinking to myself, my tank is never gonna look as good as some of them other guys on YouTube. Because ultimately it was YouTube videos that got me into the hobby. I had a freshwater tank. It all started with a betta fish. But I had a couple of freshwater tanks and I just kept doing research, and the more research I did, I found more advanced aquarists were setting up reef tanks, and they were growing coral and even breeding saltwater fish. And I thought, that's so cool. And I just really enjoyed watching it. And I finally convinced my wife to let me set up a reef tank. I actually didn't even really fully convince her. I kind of just did it. And she's been very supportive ever since, and end of story. But we set up a reef tank, and I remember thinking to myself, man, my tank is never gonna look as good as some of those other YouTubers. But I never quit. So it's been almost 5 years now, and sometimes I still think to myself, my tank is never gonna look as good as some of those other YouTubers. I'm still thinking that today sometimes. It's not a permanent thought, but I still think it sometimes. And the reason why I think that's a bad way to think is because it demotes our actual willpower to fight through those beginning struggles in those difficult situations. It demotes our willpower to actually keep going with it and to overcome it. And I look back today and I think, man, there's a number of times I could have quit. I could have walked away. I could have got my money back. I could have sold everything. There were some easy outs I had to get back everything that I had from when I started or close to it, and still have gained a good experience. But something inside of me said, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not gonna quit. This is too important to me. I started this, now I'm gonna finish it. I'm not gonna quit. And as time went on, I've built up, you could almost say like a hard heart, but not in a bad way. I've built up a hard heart for this tank in a good way. Like I love this tank and I'm not gonna give up on it. Giving up is not an option. You know, when I first started my YouTube channel, I started just making a couple of stupid little videos, thinking this will never get anywhere. This will never go anywhere. And time goes on, and I've made maybe 5 or 10 videos. And I think I was up to maybe like 12 or 15 subscribers, and they were all friends of mine from Facebook or family members that I convinced to subscribe, even though they really don't even care about the hobby. And time goes on, I started making videos, and I got to this place where I was just like, this really, I mean, it's cool, it's whatever, and all right, you big screen hog. And I was like, it's cool, but whatever. People aren't really watching, and even the people that are subscribed, they're not even watching. And this just doesn't seem to be going anywhere for me. But part of me still enjoyed it. And I knew that if I gave up, of course it wouldn't go anywhere. And I'd probably lose interest and just be like, whatever. But I knew if I didn't give up, there was a possibility that it could succeed, that something could come out of this YouTube channel, but I couldn't quit. I had to fight through those moments of discouragement. I had to fight through those moments where people said your video quality sucks, or where people said you have to come up with better content, or when people, spoke down about my YouTube channel. I had to fight through those moments, and I actually wound up using them to fuel me in order for me to be able to overcome the tougher obstacles that were up ahead. Sorry if my camera's shaking. I'm actually moving my hands and hand motion. I'm so into this right now. But it fueled me to overcome the harder obstacles and the bigger obstacles that were up ahead. So it was actually the negatives and the struggles that gave me the strength in the end to do what I needed to do and then some. And now I'm making videos and it's like, okay, so maybe I jumped too far ahead too quickly, but I kept making videos. So I just kept making them. And eventually I convinced my wife to start editing videos for me. She made me a background, made me a Facebook page for Aquatic Bob's Coral and Maintenance. Originally I wanted to cover as much ground as I could, so I was also gonna do the maintenance side of everything. And I did for a little while with some tanks, and guys loved me coming over. I went to some really nice houses, some really nice tanks. But I'm not about that. I'm not a big fan of going to rich people's houses and taking care of their tank for them just so they can have a centerpiece in their house. That's fine for them. I'm not knocking on them, but I didn't want to be the one that just was responsible for everything for all these other people's tanks. I had enough going on of my own. So I kind of stepped back from that and I started to use that energy to make more YouTube videos. As time went on, I made more and more YouTube videos. By the time I got to maybe 30 to 40 videos, I had reached several hundred subscribers. And this was over the course of probably a year, but there was a good 6 to 9 month period of time where I just kind of stopped making videos. I didn't really do anything. That was that window of time where I kind of got discouraged and a little bit burnt out. And so I stopped making videos for a while, but then I came back to it and I thought, something's going here. I had some more subscribers now. I checked YouTube Studio and my analytics were actually telling me there's hope for you. And so in the back of my mind, I'm thinking well, yeah, even if there was hope for me, it's still gonna be 10 years before anything cool happens out of this. And well, now it's been just a few months later and I've passed 1,000 subscribers. I think we're approaching 1,250. And I've learned how to edit my own videos now. I'm actually getting fairly good at it. And I'm having a blast doing it. Editing videos is so much fun. If you can think of it, you can do it. With Creative Cloud, Adobe Premiere Pro, Lightroom, After Effects, you could take a piece of this coral from this tank, put it on the moon, have a campfire burning in the background with someone smoking a cigar and drinking a glass of whiskey, and then have it zoom out and be in their garage on a cold winter day with fog and mist in front of the garage. If you can think of it, you can do it. It's as creative as you can be. There's a way to do it, but you can't quit. You got to keep on. You can't give up. So in short, okay, it hasn't been very short, but in medium length, the point that I'm trying to make here for you guys today is whatever it is in life, it doesn't even have to just be something with a reef tank or making a video, but whatever it is in your life that you've been wanting to do for a long time, that you've been excited about, that you think you could really be passionate about, that you think you could care about, it's time to take it to the next freaking level. Stop talking about it. Stop thinking about it. Stop whining and complaining about it, you guys, and just do it. Even if it takes some time, even if it's hard work, even if you fail, even if you make mistakes, do it. Please do it. And stop trying to be like everybody else and think, oh, if only I could be like this person or that person. Trust me, the world has enough of those persons. We need more of you in this world. We need less people that think they need to be like someone else, and we need more people who just want to be themselves and think the world could use a little bit of me today. And I'm telling you, you're gonna be much happier, even if you suck at first, even if you struggle, even if each step of the way is difficult and painful. You're gonna lay down in bed at night and you're gonna look back over the day and you're gonna think, man, I'm a freaking champion and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it happen. This is gonna work out. Even if you have to ask for help, if you have to humble yourself and ask for help. Ooh, that's a hard one for a lot of men out there, is to ask for help. I know people always joke about asking for directions. I've never really had a hard time asking for directions. Probably because I just asked Google Maps. But could you humble yourself for a day or two and just say, you know what, I need some help starting my dream. I need some help starting what I'm passionate about. I could use some help. Like, I think you'll be so happy. I think you'll be so rich with good emotion and fun, and you'll have life in you again, and there'll be something that comes alive. And it's like, so many people are just doing their stupid jobs, showing up at their crappy jobs that they piss and moan about. They complain and they whine and they grope and they moan and they bring everyone down around them because they can't just pull their head out of their butt cheeks and say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be doing this if I'm this freaking miserable. Maybe I should be doing something that I love and I care about and I'm passionate about. Come on, wake up. Whew. Wow, that was good stuff, man. I feel motivated right now. Sometimes we gotta go there. Let's just be real. I know some of you are thinking to yourself, like, whatever, dude, back off. You don't know me. You don't know my life. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know my situation. I hope those people who have already shut off the video, man, I hope they come back and listen, because there's something good in this for all of us, myself included. It's like, I don't need to know you. I don't need to know your life. I don't need to know how much pain you've been through, how much hurt you've been through. I don't need to know how poorly you've been treated. All I want to know is that you're willing to take a chance, and you're willing to stand up, gird up the loins, buck up, man. It's time to do the right thing. Or girl, lady, woman. It's time to take a step, time to do the right thing. Like, I want you guys to be encouraged. I want you to feel something from this video. I know this is all just coral shots here, and it's all just a bunch of, reef aquarium stuff, but I even think that just the regular world could benefit from something like this. It's the lesson of one man who's a reefer, who's got a million things going on in his life right now, barely has time to sit down and drink a glass of water at the end of the day, much less build a 300-gallon aquarium and start a business with his dad. And oh wait, I'm already doing that. And start a YouTube channel and keep being a dad and a husband and a son and friend. And it's like, we could come up with a million excuses why we shouldn't and why we should back off and quit and give up. But man, when I go to bed at night, even though I'm worried sometimes, there's a part of me that is just like, I'm living my life. I'm living, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I ain't giving up today, and nobody is gonna make me quit. Nobody can take what I have because nobody gave it to me. All this I worked for, I earned it, and I've committed to making it happen. And I've had a lot of help along the way, but this is because I didn't give up. What are you gonna do with your life? What do you have to show because you didn't give up? So that was kind of like the conversation I had, not in that much detail, but that's really what we talked about. And it just really encouraged me. And I thought, I've been doing a lot of these videos about our tank build. I want to come on here. I want to share just a little bit of my life with you guys and what's going on in my heart and my head today. So, man, praise God for opportunities like this. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, that we have a gift like this in our living room, or that we even have just a good word to motivate us to do something with our lives and stop Stop passing up amazing opportunities and gifts from above, from you, to actually do something and enjoy it. Like, oh, I just can't get enough of it. Like, we got to do this, you guys. Come on, let's go. I'd be yelling a little bit more loud right now, but my son's in there. We just put him to bed, and so I'm gonna sign out here, guys. But look for that next video. I'm putting together another video right now too of adding more fish, or adding the fish to the aquarium. I know that last video kind of cut out abruptly, but I wanted to keep you guys sunk in, so the next video starts out adding the fish, and there's only a couple fish, but and a shrimp. But man, ooh, it's those little moments, it's those little breakthroughs, right? That we think, oh man, I made it another step, I'm still in it, I'm not giving up, I'm still here, still winning, still kicking butt. So it's cool, really cool, you guys. Keep watching. Subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell for notifications. We're a family here on the Aquatic Bob Squad. But thanks for watching, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you guys. Remember, don't quit. Aquatic Bobs out.